With rumors circling around a return for Neymar, a player that could cost Barcelona more than the 220 million euros that he was sold for, the Brazilian would be Barcelona's most expensive transfer ever. It is a complicated list because of the inflation and money in football that have caused transfer prices to soar to astronomical numbers. When Scottish striker Willie Groves transferred from West Brom to Aston Villa for £100 in 1893, it is unimaginable to think that football has become the business that it has. For teams like Barcelona, Manchester United, Inter Milan, and of course Real Madrid, the transfer record has been broken time and time again over the course of 126 years. While Los Blancos' list is more expensive and longer than Barcelona's, the Catalan club has not been shy over the course of their history in opening up their wallets for big-name players. It's time to look at Barcelona's most expensive transfers ever, conditional on the Antoine Griezmann and Neymar deals that could come this summer, obviously. Hi, I'm Dan Hilton, and this is a Barcelona Podcast, YouTube exclusive. Before we get started with our list, it should be noted that Barcelona's first appearance on the list of players that broke the transfer record is as a selling club, not as a buying club. In 1960, Barcelona manager Helenio Herrera left for Inter Milan for a number of reasons, but due largely to disagreements with star player Laszlo Kubala. In 1961, he brought Ballon d'Or winner Luis Suárez to Italy in the first £100,000 move, €152,000. 12 years later, Barcelona changed their history forever by breaking the transfer record again, bringing Johan Cruyff from Ajax to Barcelona in a £922,000 move. 9 years after that, in 1982, Barcelona bought Diego Maradona from Boca Juniors for £3 million, another record. When Maradona left for Napoli in 1984, they paid Barcelona £5 million. You guessed it, another record at the time. Breaking the record and then selling a player for a new record again happened in 1996 with Ronaldo. The Brazilian was bought from PSV for £13,002,000 and sold on a year later to Inter for £19,500,000. Barcelona's final two appearances on this list are with the sale of Luis Figo to Real Madrid for €62 million and Neymar to PSG for €220 million. Alright, let's check out Barcelona's 10 most expensive players ever. Let's start with a midfielder who ended his time at Barcelona this year as André Gomes made his move to Everton permanent after a successful loan spell this past season. Coming from Valencia in 2016 for €37 million, he never found his way, and after his comments about how the fan abuse was affecting him, I get the feeling that most Kool-Aids are happy just for the player to find success elsewhere. As part of Juan Gaspar's legacy, the newly elected president swooped for Marc Overmars in 2000, bringing the Dutch attacker to the Camp Nou for €40 million. In 4 seasons, he managed 19 goals in 141 games, hardly the offensive output that Barcelona figured they were getting with the former Ajax and Arsenal winger. The Luis Figo money was supposed to be put to good use, but the Overmars name never lived up to the price tag, making this transaction feel a lot like a certain Brazilian that struggled last season. Alright, so how about some money well spent? Spain's all-time leading goal scorer David Villa came to Barcelona from Valencia for €40 million and a new challenge. He joined Pep Guardiola's Barcelona in 2010 and did what he set out to do, win a Champions League. In 119 appearances, he scored 48 times, but his willingness to play out on the wing and make tireless run after tireless run in behind the defense to free up space endeared him to the Blaugrana faithful. Since Barcelona, he has continued his career at Atletico Madrid, where he won La Liga with New York City FC in the United States and Vissel Kobe in Japan. I have to admit, I was highly skeptical of the move for Paulinho when the deal was made to bring the Brazilian back to Europe from China for €40 million. He proved so many of us wrong with his box-to-box runs and surprising number of goals in the first half of the season before playing consistent football for a whole year caught up with him in the second half of the season. He was sent back to China on loan, a deal that turned permanent and gave Barcelona a small profit on what turned out to be a one-year rental for Barcelona. Time now for a player that the jury is still out on. Bartomeu's great heist took place last summer when Barcelona stole Malcom right from under the nose of Roma and Monchi for €41 million. If he doesn't survive the summer window, was he a success at Barcelona? I think the assumption is that we didn't see enough. Big moments against Real Madrid and some terrific showings in the Copa del Rey highlighted a season with 24 total appearances with 4 goals and 2 assists. Still just 22, hopefully Barcelona isn't done with the Brazilian who can play on either wing. Starting off our top 5 is Zlatan Ibrahimović, the Lion, or maybe we should call him the journeyman, didn't spend long at the Camp Nou before falling out with Pep Guardiola. A star at Malmo, Ajax, Juventus, and Inter Milan before making the move to Catalonia, the big Swede was supposed to replace Samuel Eto'o, and he sort of did that. He was presented at the Camp Nou to more than 60,000 fans in 2009, just as Barcelona were becoming Pep's Barcelona. In 45 appearances, he scored 21 goals and provided 13 assists. Not a bad return for a man so unhappy with his role in the team. He said that Guardiola's desire to play Messi in the middle, and Messi speaking up about it, was what did the now Los Angeles Galaxy striker in. The second Luis Suárez on our list cost a little more than the first one. The Uruguayan arrived in 2014 from Liverpool at the top of his powers. He might get criticized now for being plotting at times, but his 177 goals and 96 assists in 247 appearances for the Blaugrana tell you all you need to know. Without him, the treble in 2015 never happens, particularly due to his partnership with Messi and Neymar. For a guy that was always considered to be a bad egg, he sure did learn how to play nice when it came to Barcelona. Two things have always cost a pretty penny on the market: goals and the marketability of Brazilians. For 88.2 million euros, well, maybe, the young Brazilian arrived from Santos and set the world on fire in the ways that Real Madrid feared when they went after him with everything they had, only for him to choose to play with Messi. Injuries have plagued him since his move to PSG in 2017, but his time at Barcelona was undeniably a success. His 105 goals and 76 assists in 186 showings, along with his play in a treble-winning season while Messi nursed an injury, is the positive of his Blaugrana legacy. The negative? Obviously the way he left. The money brought in from the Neymar sale was always going to be used quickly, and when Ousmane Dembélé caught wind that he was Barcelona's primary target, it's no surprise that Borussia Dortmund got every last bit of that 105 million euros that it cost to get the Frenchman to Spain. He's been plagued by injuries since arriving in Barcelona, but he has still made 65 appearances compared to the 58 times Neymar has seen the field at PSG. Obviously, Dembélé's return of 18 goals and 17 assists hasn't been close to Neymar's output at PSG, but the 22-year-old is just getting started. With so much uncertainty this summer, with Barcelona's long-term plan, will Dembélé reach his best at Barcelona or elsewhere? Our list is at its end, and it ends with none other than Philippe Coutinho. His returns of 21 goals and 11 assists in 76 appearances have been a disappointment for a player that cost Barcelona 120 million euros. Liverpool wisely used those funds to reinforce their squad to win the Champions League, while Coutinho had a season to forget. This summer could be his last in Catalonia, but if he does return for next season, hopefully success at the Copa America will galvanize him in his third season. Well, 2.5, I guess. Was Coutinho a reactionary buy after Neymar's departure? Probably, but hopefully he can find his way on the left wing, or Ernesto Valverde has an ace up his sleeve this season to get the best out of the Brazilian. So which players do you think Barcelona got the best deal for on this list? And let us know of any players that Barcelona got on the cheap that exceeded their price tag. Leave those names down in the comments below, and keep checking this channel for more videos like this. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time, Forza Barca.